Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Aaron, and before this video starts, I just want to say something to the guys at Cryptic. Please, for the love of tanks, fix the shield glitch. When a tank goes down, but they've got the shield up, they cannot use a scroll. And it becomes so painful, it can literally fail a run if no one picks that tank up for whatever reason. Maybe they're standing inside the acid, maybe they're standing inside the poison, and for whatever reason we can't get them. It's basically a failed run. I don't know if it's intentional. It feels like because of how long it's been in the game, it definitely feels intentional. But if it's not intentional, you guys definitely need to fix that ASAP. It's painful. But anyway guys, the topic at hand. I expect a rework very, very soon. Maybe in the next few months. The reason I expect a rework is everyone's getting strong. The item level is shooting up. There are people in the 80Ks now. Whether they're running best in slot gear, I don't know. Me personally, have done my character and using best in slot gear, I'm in between 76 and 77k. However, Cryptic like to watch us get strong and get high in item level, and then they just shoot us down back. They just shoot us down. It's like they'll watch us get strong and then they'll nerf us with some kind of combat change or whatever. The last big rework was the enchantments. Now, even though I like how much the enchantments give us, I hate the new system. The new upgrading system is horrible. It's awful. It costs so much in terms of press wards. A lot of the time I just use a cold ward, say if I'm ranking up an artifact. I'll use press wards all the way up into legendary. Once I hit legendary on that artifact, I'll just cold mode it to mythic, because you tend to just spend more on press wards. So, and the enchantments, let's see, I think I used about 32 cold modes just to upgrade my enchantments to mythic. It's really painful. Each enchantment 1%. That was the rework that was done. They do give you a lot of stats, yes. They do help you out item level wise. They help you get your ratings. But I don't think Cryptic are taking into account the cost of everything. Or maybe they are and they just want us to spend. That is very plausible. That's kind of Cryptic's MO, is to get people to spend. And more like force people to spend rather than making content where they want to spend. They enjoy the content, so they want to spend to get bigger. You know, it's just gaming philosophy really. Now the reason I believe a rework is inbound very soon is essentially because of how strong everyone's getting, and also they can only rely on these dragon hunts to keep people playing until people have their gear. Once people have their gear, the player retention numbers might drop off, because other than dragon hunts there is no there's nothing to do really apart from Tiamat. But again, Tiamat isn't all that to shout about, in my opinion. Yes, it's a challenge. I don't think there are many groups actually completing it on PlayStation. I think there is a handful, but I don't think there's many. But I want to talk about what I think needs reworking. I do not want to see our characters getting nerfed again. I don't want to see a rework to the stats. I don't want to see a rework to the item level. It's bad enough that we cannot, we have no tankiness to our characters whatsoever. You get sneezed on, you die. I think the actual rework needs to be mechanics rework. And the reason being is I absolutely hate one-shot mechanics. I think they're extremely cheap. I think they have been in the game for a long time, but I feel like that is an out-of-date feature when it comes to mechanics, especially the dragons. If you look at the dragons, a lot of the mechanics in the dragons, people call them mechanics, I don't call them mechanics because there is no routine to them whatsoever. It's all just random, it seems. But mechanics, the whole point of mechanics is they can be learned, they can be avoided, they can be worked against, they can be remembered. It's kind of like muscle memory. You think a Tower of the Mad Mage, that had mechanics, because it was a system, it was a schedule, it was a phase, whereas the dragons don't have it. And when it comes to the creativity of the actual dragon hunts themselves and the dragons and the way they attack, there is no creativity whatsoever. Think about it like this. So he's just done acid breath, or elemental breath, whatever you want to call it. So when Cryptic were putting these together, what were they actually saying to each other? Okay, so we want this dragon to breathe this acid and spit it all over the floor. Okay, so what happens after that? Does it apply a little dot? Well, if the players run into it, it applies a dot. Okay, what's that dot do? It takes 200k health. We are scaled down to 600k. The damage over time is supposed to hit rapid, but hit low. It is not supposed to 3-tick you and then boom, dead. That's not how it's supposed to work. That's not how damage over time works, fundamentally. And then on top of that, they'll say, and we're going to put a knockback on it. Okay. And then we've got a bite. The dragon's going to do a bite. What's going to happen? Okay, well, we want this bite to have another knockback on it. And we want it to have nearly 360-degree radius. Okay, so now we're going to have a swipe, where he swipes at you, I think, with his right hand. Okay, that's going to knock you back. Okay, so that's another knockback. That's 3 out of 3. And then we're going to have a wing slap. What happens with the wing slap? Well, if you're standing towards the side of him, it's going to knock you back. Okay, great. And then we're going to have a tail swipe. What's going to happen when this tail swipe hits you? It's going to knock you back. There is... Now that I'm thinking about it, just like there are so many knockbacks in these dragon hunts, it's kind of lack of creativity, and I think this is what Cryptic needs to work on, is the creativity of the mechanics and the effects of the mechanics. So, let's talk about Black Dragon and how he, you know how he spits all the acid balls out? You're supposed to just walk backwards. That's what you're supposed to do. Everyone walks sideways and sideways. You're just supposed to walk backwards, apparently. But them acid balls, there are so many of them, and it just covers the floor. And I'm thinking, Cryptic, did you test all these? Because the whole floor is acid. I'm not even standing in acid, and I haven't been hit with anything, and somehow I'm taking damage, and then people are saying, you've got bleed on you. Where have I got bleed from? I have not been hit. There is acid all along the floor. Are you seeing the fumes kill you? It makes no sense. The dragon fights I enjoy, apart from that black dragon. I think the black dragon needs reworking, definitely. Black dragon's so painful, no one wants to do it. I included it in this video because we breezed through, but no one wants to do the black dragon, everyone's avoiding it, and I think what Cryptic need to do in terms of new dungeons, new content, is work on the mechanics. There is no point working on one-shot mechanics anymore, because it's no longer skillful to survive them, because we're nerfed into the ground and we just cannot survive them. Let's say we mess up once, or maybe a bug causes him to do a phase that he's not supposed to do, and boom, we get one shot. That's not our fault. Why should we have to spend a scroll? And then if the tank goes down with his shield off, and then we fail the run because the tank's in poison or something like that, or he's in acid. I think when it comes to reworking the mechanics, there is a lot more they can do. I've got no ideas as of yet. I haven't really thought about it. However, I've thought about that. I feel like there is a rework coming up, but I do not think we should be nerfed. If anything, I think our defensive stats need to be buffed. I think it's safe to say scaling is going nowhere, but it is what it is. Cryptic, please take out one-shot mechanics, start including something else, start working on something else. As much as I enjoy this game, and as much as I enjoy the combat, the one-shot mechanics are getting really annoying, and it's getting really, really cheap. It's kind of cheap tactics just to get you to spend on scrolls of life, which are now coming down in the auction house, so you'd have to spend AD on the Scrolls of Life unless you've got trade bars. How do you get trade bars? You buy Astral Lot Boxes or you buy enchanted keys. So it's all a system for Cryptid to get you to spend. However, the amount of fun you get out of the game should be #1 priority. So my opinion is there's rework coming up, but I think it should be based on the mechanics. Fix the mechanics, get rid of one-shots, add something different, add team mechanics, add some MSPC like mechanics, add some Ravenlock mechanics, get rid of all the bugs, because the bugs are causing a lot of these cheap deaths that aren't even the player's fault. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. Have you thought about this? Like, have you got any ideas on how you would like to see the game progress? Let me know. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you are new and you want to make your way back to the channel. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.